Yo, 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 what is up, Hyperholics? Welcome to another edition of Hyper Talk. We got the geeks here tonight. We got me, your boy Abe G. Got my guy Quincy, his lovely wife Julie's in the house. Jonesing for a win. They thought we were playing trivia tonight. We also have Mexican Chocolate in the house tonight. Hillary, maybe Mikey's on the phone as well. And everyone, welcome to Hyper Talk. Mikey's no longer with us. That's okay, Mikey. You're with us in spirit. Welcome to Hyper Talk, where we just talk about geek things, movies, music, sports, culture, all that good stuff. But today, the conversation might veer off into some other things, possibly. But I do want to start off the conversation with Suicide Squad. And luckily, I have two people here that have seen it, which is going to make this a lot better because Tim still hasn't seen it, so I didn't want to spoil anything. So the Suicide Squad movie was released last Thursday at 7 o'clock on streaming services. Y'all can unmute yourselves, by the way. Well, I just asked you to. Suicide Squad was released Thursday on HBO Max and in the movies, and we'll talk about the box office in a minute. But just overall thoughts. Quincy, what'd you think about the film overall? A yawn.
It was pretty good. I didn't really know what to take from it. I'm like the head smashes were great.
A1.
Like a John Wick comedy.
Okay. Do you remember the first Suicide Squad movie?
Yes,
How would you think it? How did you think it was compared to that?
about 3 or 4 times better.
I concur. Do you think Idris Elba did better than Will Smith did?
Uh, yeah, yeah, I guess.
Kind of, sorta.
Kind of, sort of. I'm like, and I guess I'm only saying that because I laughed my butt off while he was cussing his daughter out for stealing a TV watch. That was just like some of the most hilarious stuff I've seen in a while.
He said next time if you're gonna do it, get a lookout, get somebody for you. She's like, that's what you care about?
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, man. I thought Idris Elba brought more realism to it because it's no disrespect to Will Smith, but every time I see Will Smith, I just see Will Smith. I have a hard time seeing him as anything else but that. I feel like Idris.
Will Smith, all I see is when it come to a movie like that, all I see is the one where he was the guy talking about call me an asshole again and I'm gonna throw you in the sky.
Oh, Hitch.
Yeah, no, not Hitch.
Yeah, not Hitch. Thank you, Hancock. Not Hitch. You're right. Not Hitch at all. Two totally different movies. Yeah, Hancock, where he was like, I'm going to shove your head up that guy's ass.
Right.
That movie.
So that's what I see when you're trying to tell me he's some kind of super person, is that.
That makes a lot of sense. I could totally see that. And all right, so it looks like Quincy liked it overall. Julie's there. Does she have any thoughts on it? Did she see it? Did she see it?
Yeah,
What?
she chuckled definitely more than the first one.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Mortal Kombat.
Oh no! Oh, don't bring that up. Not in this conversation. That's for a whole nother show. That's for the anals.
More than Wonder Woman.
Right. Thank you. I agree. I think the Suicide Squad was in the top tier of the DC movies. I put it up there with like Man of Steel and Snyder Cut, Shazam. I think those are all the good movies. I enjoyed it very much. A lot of blood, a lot of action, and that first kill shot. Spoiler alert, by the way, everyone. Hillary's seen it. The first kill shot was Pete Davidson when he's like, "Hey guys, it's just me. It's just I'm the one that called." I said that set the tone for the whole movie. Boom! Right to the face. I was like, "Ooh, wow, that's what we're about to be." Oh man. Oh, Hillary.
One of the best parts to me is jumping off the plane and they didn't find out if Weasel could swim or not. Laughed my ass off for so long.
Hey, you didn't even try to resuscitate him, but it was just like the Weasel's dead. Like, dude, you didn't even try to pump his chest or nothing, bro. Like, you just said, "Oh, he's dead."
Oh
like,
man,
wow.
That was great.
So it looks like Quincy liked it overall. Now I gotta ask Hillary because it did have. If y'all don't know Hillary Hyperholics, she's a huge fan of Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion was in the movie. What did you think about the Detachable Kid? I gotta hear.
It was hysterical.
TDK.
Like, what does TDK stand for?
He was like this.
And then I was just telling Mike, I'm like, but his arms, they move so slow. How is that a superhero?
It's
they were
not.
Like, he could have walked up there and strangled him faster.
He was just slapping.
I come to find out they were just the decoys to let the
Yeah.
real people in the back. I was like, this doesn't seem like a super team at all.
I'm like, dude, Detachable Kid. And when he started getting shot, they were shooting his arms. He was just in the back like, do, 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 do. I was like, this is messed up, bro. You shouldn't even be in the battle, bro. Like, but the scene that introduced him in the plane when they were going there, when Pete Davidson was like, or his name was Blackguard in the movie, he was like, so what is this thing? Is this a dog or something? What kind of breed is this? It was like, dude, I don't know the breeds. And then Harley was like, Harley said, oh, maybe it's a werewolf. I've been wanting to meet a werewolf forever. He was like, y'all sent me this to a werewolf? Shit, buckle this. I thought that was all good. I thought it was all good stuff. But Hillary, overall thoughts of the movie.
Now that we're going over this, it's a better movie than I thought.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. Hillary, your overall thoughts of the movie.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't too graphic for me. There's a certain level that I don't know how to explain it. Like when the guys, like the boomerang guy, like sliced the guy's head off.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's funny. And then I also liked when what is it now, Nanue or whatever his name, where he's like got the guy's head in his mouth and the eyes are moving.
Oh my goodness, he was my favorite character by far.
That made me laugh.
No way.
I didn't see him bite the guy's head off because I must have looked away. So
he ate the guy. He ate the whole guy.
It was like, well, because like it compounds on each other, and so like after a while, it was like, oh, I was thinking about, oh, I should probably stop this movie and take a break. But I couldn't find it.
I think you liked it because they gave you a lot of comedy while they were killing, so it kind of gave you a giggle as.
It's like, okay, like I still haven't finished the original Watchmen because it was like, oh, I'm gonna have to take a break. I've taken like 6 breaks through that. Because
it's a long movie though.
Super violent. Huh?
It's long and violent. I see how I totally see how you could take a break with Watchmen.
So I had to take a break, and I probably would have, if I could have found my remote, I probably would have taken a little break. But I don't know where the remote is. It's fell in between the couch cushions again.
Day couch
Another
cushions.
Part that was amazing to me is when Rainbow Boy shot the starfish in the ankle, and everybody else felt that shit.
Bro,
I laughed for so long. Polka dot man. What did I say?
You said Rainbow Man. Bro,
Rainbow Black Man.
I knew what you meant. Yo, he said, just imagine it's your mom. And it was his mom knocking the building. And she was like, roar. I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh, man.
And I was sorry that, like his little ending. I was like, oh.
I would. He said, I'm an effing superhero. Smash.
Yeah, he did go out wrong.
Now, I'm not a fan of rats. I never have been. They just do something to me. But Ratcatcher 2, they end up making her such a good character. I mean, they did such a good job with her story and everything.
And she broke Will down.
Oh, bro. He said, get that. I mean, but it's like, dude, we should know that you have a rat phobia, bro. She was like, they put you on a team with me? Like, I control rats.
He locked up. He
bro,
got straight.
He said, another thing I liked, Amanda Waller, Viola Davis. She was in the first one, but she was way more ruthless in this one, the way she should be. She didn't care about nothing. I mean, her own team was like, "You gonna kill kids?" Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, everybody got to go. She said, I'll lock your daughter up in a real prison. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, she didn't care.
No, she was intense, man. I mean, overall, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good movie. It looks like y'all did too. The consensus has been good, which brings me to my point, the point of the conversation. Hyperholics, maybe y'all can agree with this. So, Suicide Squad movie, this week in the box office, it finished the worldwide total with, what was it, 72 million? Yeah, it made 72.2 million worldwide. It made 26 million at the North American box office. Now, I don't know how much it cost to make the movie, but I'm going to just throw a guess out there. I guarantee it cost at least 150 million to make it. At least. You know what I mean? Like, maybe 200. It underperformed. That's not good. 25 million in America. So my question to you all is, we kind of talked about it earlier off camera, but our streaming services ruining, are the direct to video releases ruining the actual box office? Are they ruining the box office? Are they?
This particular movie, I don't think so because it's.
Well, welcome Shane. Look, Shane just walked in here. What's up, Shane? Go ahead, dude. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's like it's the home, and I'm saying that because I'm like, if you got somebody that's paying you $9 to $15 a month, that oversees anything. The box office doesn't really matter if they're gonna pay you those $15 every month instead of you getting $15 every 3 months. But you're getting the movie from the service.
But you don't know how much the movie's making from the service.
That's the point. That's the point. We don't know how much money is split between the streaming service and the production of it and the actors. That's why Scarlett Johansson's suing, because she's obviously not getting her cut. You know, I mean, they depend on the theaters. You know, me and Shane talked about that before off camera.
They depend on the theaters. If you made.
That's the way the business model is set up.
That's the mediator. The theaters are to work directly with the production company or the distributor. They make the movie. They put it in their theater. You know what I mean? It's like
the actress.
She should have.
The actress decided to take
hold on
points.
1 second. Go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of times, what an actor will say, instead of paying me so much, I'll take less, but I'll get what's known as points. So the box office, they do so many points. That means they make so much of a percentage. But now that their streaming services are like, oh, we're going to do both, they're not getting that point of the points. So there's no point for them to take a lower salary because they're getting cut out right now. And that's what Disney and a lot of these folks are going to have to start figuring. If they're going to do them on both, now the actors are going to have to redo their contracts to say, like, well, if you're going to do that, well, then not only do I get this, but I also get the main thing. And that's why it looks like maybe they're not doing so good at the box. I mean, who's going to go to the box office when you can sit at home and you're only paying $15 a month for HBO, which, you know, is only $3 more than Netflix or whatever. So, but I love Suicide Squad. I was laughing the whole time.
Oh yes.
And I didn't even take edibles, you know, so.
Awesome. That's good when you don't have to take edibles to watch it. That's
I know, man. I was nom nom.
Nom nom?
Nom
nom?
nom?
No, nom nom. Nom nom?
Nom nom?
Oh, what Ratcatcher was like,
Oh,
nah,
yeah,
Wade.
Right.
She said, do you have any friends? And he was like, no friends. She said, well, if you had friends, would you try to eat them? Idris Elba was like, yes. And then, he was like, no. Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would, bro. No, those fish in that aquarium, that was hard too. Because he thought he had some friends. No friends. No friends. No, they're trying to eat you. They're trying to kill you. It was classic James Gunn ridiculousness. You know,
Soundtrack was on point. I mean,
that's one of my negatives, Shane. I thought some of the I thought some of the songs didn't fit. I didn't like that, and I didn't like the way it showed the chapters. I thought that was cheesy. Like the beach where it said now. I was like,
That I was just gonna say that was one of my favorite parts, especially.
That's
like
awesome.
yeah,
when the guy
love or hate.
Berlin or
I'll
whatever.
get back, you're not gonna like it. So
Say again.
I think it's a love or hate thing. You're either gonna love how they do that, or you're gonna hate. But I mean, that's totally James Gunn style, though.
I've never seen him do that before. Like, you know, I was talking to my boy Drex about. He had this movie called Slither. You probably seen it, Shane. It came out in right? Came out in like what 2002, 2003, something like that. That movie is like straight horror, like a gore. That's what this reminded me of. And Super, the movie he did with Dwight from Office. What's his real name? What's that guy's name?
Rainn
Oh,
Wilson.
Thank you, Rainn Wilson. The movie Super he did where he was pretending to be a superhero. The Crimson Hammer. Yeah, exactly. Like those are the movies I'm really used to from James Gunn. But this one was like, this was different. It kind of reminded me of Baby Driver mixed with Suicide Squad. It was good though, Shane. I liked it. I mean, I watched it twice.
This one I'll probably buy a Blu-ray just so I can have the good quality version of it.
Yeah,
you know,
totally. And Harley, I don't think Harley was my favorite in this movie that I've seen her in any of the other two films I've seen her in. I thought
it should have been Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad. That should have been the name.
Well, I don't know. I thought they did a good job of giving everybody some love. Even Rick.
I think so, but I mean, you know everybody that saw it. She's the main reason they went in.
Of
They might have
course.
stayed because other people were there, but
Of course.
I mean, but John Cena, I mean, come on, he knocked it out of the park with, you know, everybody's thinking John Cena. I mean, no, man, Peacemaker, he was on it, man. Just he
This
he
whole
had
island,
control.
if this whole island was full of dicks, and I had to eat every one of them for
I would
justice,
eat every one
he
of
said I would totally eat every one of them. Like, he's like, why would you eat an island full of dicks?
And Idris Elba, you know, he being like the straight man, you know, he totally carried it too. I mean, I can't see anybody that they would have. The only person I think I could have replaced with somebody was Polka Dot Man, but it's just because he was kind of blamed. You know that.
I loved him when he was like, when they're like,
He was worried about exploding his face, so he didn't
bro. Quincy, they were like, dude, you got a rash or something? He's like, no, that's no rash. Oh, he said it's just a rash. They were like, that's a rash? Like, bro, it's poking out of your face, bro.
And I love how we saw his mother everywhere. Even in the dance club, it was all his mom dancing around.
That was the truth. That was the best. Like the whole thing with his mom. I thought that was so. You know what, Shane? I think my thing was I thought the first half of the movie was exquisite, and then I think it kind of tempered off in the middle, but then it picked back up a little bit. The whole Harley with the dude, you know, with getting married and things like that part kind of like slowed down a little bit for me, but I still enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again.
And I totally loved it that she after she got done having her way with him, she's like, yes, we can get married. And she's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. No, red flag.
He gave her a red flag. She said, killing kids is definitely a red flag. Like,
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Like, oh, way to start it back up.
There was a bunch of parts in it that were unexpected. I think that's what made it so good.
That was a totally Harley thing to do, though.
Totally.
Killing kids is just a total red flag.
I said, that's a red flag. And her accent was so on point. Like, everything about her accent in this movie. When they came to save her, and she was already outside, they were like, we come to save you. She was like, you gonna save me? And she was like, well, I'll go back in, and you can come back and do it if you want. Like, oh, I was like, that's Harley. That's Harley. Great job.
I thought I was going to see more Pete Davidson. I thought he was going to be pretty good.
No. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
There were so many characters that were red herrings from the build up in the commercials. You thought what's his name with the Merle with the hair was going to be a big part of it.
Savant. Savant, you know,
yeah, and then boom, right off the bat, they were gone. I was like, what? Did I miss it?
The only one I wanted to stay was Captain Boomerang. I was upset about that. I was like, no, don't kill him. Oh, man. Like,
I did that twice in a row now. So
like, y'all kill this man quick, man. I was a little upset about that. But so back to the topic. The topic is, are movies, oh, there's Tim back. And Tim, you came just in time. Welcome back, Tim. Are movies killing, are straight to video releases? Because let's go back and look at the history real fast. I don't have it on the screen, but so Disney Plus during the pandemic dropped Luca, Onward, they dropped Mulan, they dropped Cruella, and they did Black Widow. The only one that made budget was Black Widow. I know that. All of the other ones underperformed. So Shane, you just walked in here. Do you think that these straight to streaming releases or same day releases, theater and streaming, are going to hurt the actual brick and mortar film industry?
I don't think so. I think what's going to help the brick and mortar is when we come out of the pandemic a little bit more, because right now, even
deja vu. But go ahead though.
Yeah, even with the there's certain movies I want to see on a big screen. I don't want to sit even though I've got a 65-inch TV and my own surround sound system. Most people don't have that. There's certain movies you want to see in the big screen with extreme. I mean, I saw Suicide Squad at home, but I'm gonna go see it in the theater because I want to see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
With the one The Rock just did, the
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, because the effects. I want to see it on the big screen. Now, there's a lot of movies I don't really care to see on the big screen, and I'm not going to go to the brick and mortar. But it's just like everything. Everything's going to have to keep evolving, because I mean that's just the way of the world. For the longest time, brick and mortar was the only way to see it, and then you could see, VHS. Even before VCRs, the only way you could see movies after they were in the theaters was wait for them to be on TV with all the ads, and then all of a sudden videotapes that put a hurting on the movie industry, and they had to up their game. This is going to be another place where they've got to up their game, and the streaming services are going to have to, especially if the streaming services are the ones producing the movies, they're going to be the ones that be like, hey, well, we put the money, So I think right now it's such a new thing, they haven't worked out the kinks. I think it's just another one of those things they got to work out the kinks for.
Totally.
I don't think we've seen the last of Scarlett Johansson and the Black Widow. I think right now what she's got to do is she's got to lawyer up. They've got to figure out the best way to make everybody happy, and then she may be gone, she may be back. I mean, but
I think she's done. I would push back on that. I think she's done.
Yeah, well, it may be, but it's going to be a case where they say, well, this happened with one of our biggest stars, so we've got to keep people from walking.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to fix, how we do our contracts. That's
we got to add we got to add streaming into the fine line. We got to add that. Right. We got to put that in now.
Now the people that do the negotiations, the agents basically going to be like, all right, well, if you decide to go outside the contract and do it in streaming, we want this much from the streaming profits,
Mm-hmm.
So, or the movie industry is going to have to say, you know what, we're not doing points and stuff anymore. We're going to pay you a straight, here's your salary for the movie plus royalties, and that's that, So they're just going to fix how they do stuff, So
that's a great point, man. That's a great point. Anyone else want to talk about the damage these straight-to-video releases are doing to the brick-and-mortar films or theaters? Anybody?
To add on to the point what he just said, I get that some movies you want to watch on a big screen, but there's also nothing than sitting, in your own home with a bunch of friends paying one price as opposed to, 5, 8 times that price. Plus, with the streaming movies now coming out at the same time as the movies, because that's never been an issue because they've always been released afterwards.
Never. You're right. That's the difference. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, I think even if they came out like a month after the box office release, it give the box office, because the box office, the first 2 weeks is where they really make it or break it, and that's what they decide. So I mean, that's probably what you're going to have to do once we're out of the pandemic and people are not scared to see. Right now, people are still scared to go to the theaters, even though a lot aren't. There's still a lot that are scared to go. So I'm not, but
no,
I know a lot of people in the Dragon Con, one of the biggest geeks I know, they're still scared to go to the grocery store for some reason. I'm like, okay, well,
hey,
those are the main ones that are going to the theater. So
to each their own.
Exactly.
Before I go to, go ahead.
I'm just saying, it won't be until we go back to more normal, going to the movies, going out to eat, no masks, all that kind of stuff. You're not going to see the theaters return to a more normal state until that happens. Now, once that happens, I think they might start doing that. Okay, we'll release it in theaters, then we'll release it on streaming. But until that happens, I think they're going to try to do the dual release just to make whatever money they can back from projects that have already been filmed.
Now, before I go to Hillary Quincy with their point, Eternals is planning to come out just in the movies. That's what they're planning right now. They're not planning to do a dual release. So I think if you force people to go to the movies to watch it, you'll see a return. Don't give them the option for streaming. Like, you know what? Put Eternals in the movies, because I know Abe going to be at the movies.
I would have went to see
Suicide Squad, right?
Right.
Exactly.
I was in my bed.
But the option's there. Yeah, it's like I got the option to watch it at home. So why would I? Yeah, don't even give me the option.
Get HBO Max.
The bed is a good point. You can watch them from your bed. You don't even have to be out on the couch. You can watch them on your phone.
Anywhere, bro. I mean, it's something new. Quincy, man, you were just saying. So how do you feel about it? I mean, I know you're not the biggest movie watcher, but you are, though, at the same time. So
it doesn't. I'm like,
you don't care either way, do you? Like, if movie theaters went away, it wouldn't bother you, would it?
Nope. Not at all.
I
know it's got a mystique to it, and you get the Dolby sounds and all of that, but I'd be good either way if I could see it.
Do you not think the audience reaction plays into the experience at the movie theater? Like,
No,
like,
truthfully, Abe,
please,
only
please.
what you say matters to me, and if I'm gonna take advice from something on a movie.
At least talking about like.
No, I don't mean that. Yo,
I know, but that doesn't
what I'm
matter.
saying is what I'm saying is this. So Pete Davidson getting shot in the face. Say we were at the movies watching that, and everybody was like, "Oh!" You don't get that at
Still
home.
thought that.
You thought it, but you don't get that at home. That's what I miss from them. When Captain America picked up Mjolnir in Endgame. Spoiler alert, by the way, everyone, if you haven't seen Endgame. When Captain America picked up Mjolnir, seeing that in the movies was it's an unexplainable experience. There's no comparison to watching that at home by yourself or with friends.
I saw it in the
That's
movie,
true.
and it wasn't.
That's true.
I was the only one that was like, "Well, what the fuck's going on right now?"
Man, the theater I was in, bro, I was in NCG at Peachtree City. Everybody was like, "Oh, what?" It was
You still
like,
talking about Mjolnir? Because it was the same where I was.
yes, bro. Like
Same
when
story.
T'Challa and they all came back from the snap, everybody was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh!" People were like crying. Yeah, like, it's shade.
When Tony snapped, there were cries all over
Bro,
the theater.
I was crying, man. I'm not about to talk about people. I was
I was
crying.
too, and Sneeze was laughing at me.
Let me stop flexing and saying people were. I was crying. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
she
my
was laughing at
god!"
me.
Tim,
The part in Black Panther when Killmonger is dying and he says,
I'd rather die. Yeah.
just toss me in the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I saw this up at Camp Creek. No, wait, I saw it twice in the movie theater. I don't know where my aunt took me, somewhere up in Decatur. Like people stood up and they were just like doing the slow clap, and I was like, "Oh, hello!" It's like this is gonna happen in San Diego.
No.
Another moment
No.
that's not like excitement, but like one other moment in the movie theater that I remember is when was it 2013 when Paul Walker died?
Oh,
And they did Furious 7 for him, and I was watching in the theaters, and it was in the end, it was just pure moment of silence. That's another thing you can't do at home.
You can't duplicate that at home, Tim. I agree. You cannot duplicate that. I mean, some people like Quincy might not care, and I want to go. That goes over to Hillary. So Hillary, do you care about that audience interaction? I mean,
I don't know. I do and I don't. I mean, I go to movies not so much for like the movie interaction, or like the people, but I go with the people that I like, just to kind of hang out and see the movie together and, have the conversation. And so I did see Black Widow in the theater. And I saw
Same here.
Suicide Squad here at home.
Yes.
To me, it's like for those two movies, that was an equal experience.
And my thing is the part about
go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
watching it at home. I know for a fact it ain't gonna be that one motherfucker that excuse me.
Oh, you good,
that
brother.
one
You good,
person trying to mess with his girl over here in the corner while you trying to listen to something, and he spitting game in the movie theater and doing whatever else and all of this when you want to say shut the hell up, we trying to watch the movie. It's
Baby
like,
crying.
And I thought he's gonna talk about the people constantly walking back and forth down the aisle.
Bro.
that too. It's just the inconveniences of going to the movie, and
That's one of them. That's true.
and me, I'm like, I have a baby bladder, so if I'm going to watch alone, like when we went to watch
We go watch Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse.
We want to watch Spider-Man Far From Home. Remember
Oh
that?
no, with Mephisto, yeah. I'm
Far
like,
From Home.
dude, I miss stuff going to the bathroom, so I'm like, I still like it, but it
you
wouldn't
can pause it.
definitely wouldn't.
You can't
bother
pause
me.
it.
As long
You
as
can't
I'm
pause it in
able
the
to
theater.
see it.
I tell you this, I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I enjoy going to the dollar theaters for horror movies, especially when the crowd's predominantly black folks,
Yeah.
because
Hey.
they will say comments I didn't even think of, and to
What?
me, that's comedy. Don't go in there.
I done told you don't open the closet.
Like stupid white people don't go
And that's
sticking it over in there. I've been gone. Oh, they had me rolling, man. I went to see Open Water in Fayetteville when it was at the Dollar, and that movie, worst movie I've ever seen.
it's not good. Is
But-
that Blake Lively?
What's that? I don't know. It's
No, it's not Blake Lively. Is it Jessica? Is that Jessica Alba?
No, it was some unnamed people who
Okay.
I was like, shark, eat them. They
Eat
are
them.
boring.
Okay.
You know.
Go ahead.
But
Go
there
ahead.
were some
Continue.
people in there was like, I ain't scuba diving. I ain't scuba diving with no shark. You know, I mean, the people behind me, oh my God, they had so many comments. I was so married at the time. I literally had tears because of the comments. I'm like, I would have paid good money to watch it on streaming with the people.
With that commentary. With that commentary.
I needed that commentary. They were better than Mystery Science Theater 3000 because I think they were a little drunk or high or something. But they had me rolling. I mean, I was seriously crying. I was laughing so hard at everything they were saying.
Hey.
Like they were all like, they're gonna eat your leg. They're gonna get that leg. You're gonna be an amputee. You know, I was just
like,
I was like, oh man.
Cats came out. KFP, we were gonna go see Cats, ironically, and I think that would. And by the time it came out, and then we were gonna go see it like on, I don't know, say a Thursday or Friday night, and they had closed it before then, and we didn't get the chance. But I think we would have had some good comments.
Y'all would have laughed a lot.
Would have been those people that sitting in front of the people that were really into the Cats movie, like pissing them off.
That's a whole new medium. For us, y'all. We need to think about that business deal. We can make commentary for the movies that go straight to stream. We could do that. But that could be a whole new thing. So you get that movie experience. So you know what I mean, and you get that experience. Quincy, you know me, bro. I'm a movie guy. I've been going to the movies my whole life. I love going to the movies. I'll go by myself. I'll go with people. It don't matter. I just like the theater. I don't want it to go away. So I'm gonna keep supporting it. I seeing a movie at the movies is so much different for me than at home. I like it at home too. Don't get me wrong, but I can't imagine not seeing Endgame in the movies. I just can't even picture it. Or seeing Infinity War when he snapped and it goes off with him snapping like that. Everybody said, "Oh." You know, like, or even Star Wars, for instance, not the new ones, by the way, because those movies sucked. But the prequels. When I saw Revenge of the Sith in the movies, I think the first time I saw it like 8 times. That was one of the best movie experiences I ever had in my life. And what's the theater like in Germany though, Tim? Like, what's the theaters like in Germany? Is it the concessions high as hell over there too?
I don't remember it being high. So they're very much like, so you know how when you go, you mentioned NCG earlier, right? Mm-hmm. You pay your ticket, you go wherever you want, you sit down, right? That's not a thing over there. It's kind of like you go when you go to Tinseltown and you pick a specific seat.
Okay. It's
that's like that everywhere. There's not a single theater in Germany where you just pick your seat. You get your tickets.
Assigned seating.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a new thing, by the way.
What's that?
That's a new thing?
Assigned seating.
It's not new, but it relatively new. It's like 4 or 5 years here, you know, where they're making it everywhere. I like it.
That's always been a thing.
And I love it, Quincy.
I love it too, because when you buy your tickets, you get to see what's open. And if you don't want people next to you, you can kind of hope that nobody buys those tickets after you buy them.
Yeah.
Or buy it wherever you want to sit.
And you get to walk up there like Cedric the Entertainer and say, hey, homie, hey, 4 and 5, bro. That's me, dog. That's me, bro. Hey, bro, come on up now. Yeah, you know, I like that assignment. You know where you're gonna sit when you walk in there. I love that.
I tell you, I saw King Kong versus Godzilla in the theater, and I'm so glad I did, because and I watched it at home too. The theater experience is way better than the at-home experience.
Of course,
you got to have the subwoofers calibrated right and all that. I don't care. You might have your little sound system.
It ain't beating no movie system.
No,
it ain't beating that rumble.
When you got that, you know, his scream, and then just King Kong when he's breathing, and you can kind of feel it in your chest because that subwoofers. I mean, that's the kind of experience.
Yes. Thank you, Shane. I don't care how good your sound system is at home. I made that point to my friends. You can't duplicate that boom, that rumble bass noise. You feel it in your soul, man.
Especially, you know, you had the deaf girl talking, so everything was muffled except the really lows.
Except the lows, yeah.
It was, you know, and that's something you can't experience at home because people be like, "My system messed up." You know, I'm like, no, that's part of the.
That's the movie experience. I mean, you know.
You know how I am about sound. You know, I'm a big sound person.
Yeah, he did. He's definitely in the subwoofers and things like that. So Hillary, you really don't care at the end of the day.
I mean, it's not that I don't care, but I think I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I think the movie theaters they're always gonna be around. It's just gonna, like there's
Gotta wait for enough people to die out.
and maybe that experience will change. Maybe maybe then they won't charge you like $10 for one gummy bear or something.
No.
Maybe that's what'll change because they're gonna have to.
Well, isn't
do you know why they charge? Tim, go ahead. You might be about to say what I was going to say. Go ahead.
so? Isn't that where they make all their money from?
They
Because all
don't
the
make-
movie theater tickets goes to the
studio, to the
Right.
to the distributor. They don't make it, and that's the that's the connection.
Make like 1 or 2 cents per ticket sale. All their money's come from concessions.
All the money comes from concessions. That's how the movie theater works. Exactly. That's how it works. But they get to keep all that profit from concessions. So But Hillary, you're a woman. Julie, you're a female. Y'all are women, man. Bring the big purse. Bring the big purse, man.
Come to the movies with me.
And we stopping at Walgreens before we go to the movies, and we're gonna get everything you want: cookie dough bites, Junior Mints, all that shit. We're gonna knock it all out.
Serious about going to the movies. Okay, because I don't take like my regular everyday purse. I take my big purse.
The big purse.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want that fake. I would buy popcorn at the movie theater, but since they changed and put that oily stuff on it instead of real butter, it's nasty. I don't like it.
It is
So
nasty.
it's my own popcorn. I usually will bring a little bag for somebody else. So I have 2 little brown bags full of popcorn. I have some fruit. I have nuts. I have gummy bears. I have a bottle of water.
Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, I gotta go to the theater with you.
Well, that's why like NCG, they have the ices, and there's free refills on the ices. I mean, it's like $6, but it's free refill. So I'll get that. I get thirsty. I don't really get hungry.
I get thirsty. I don't eat in the movies either. I don't have to because I'm so in the movie. I'm so into the movie. It's like a date. If y'all were gonna go on a date, man with a woman, woman with a man, however you're gonna do it, would you rather watch the movie before dinner or after dinner?
After dinner.
You watch the movie after dinner?
Yeah, when you're already full, man. You're already full.
See,
so you don't need that when you go in there.
I like before dinner.
If you go
Before
on
dinner, because then you got something to talk
Because then we
about.
got something to talk about. Now we got something to talk about. That's why I like before dinner. Because now we can talk about the movie and then it'd be easy.
Pillows.
What you say?
I talk about the movie on the pillows after the movie. So
See, there you go, man. There you go.
I go get my dinner, then we go to the movie, so everything digests. So after the movie, you're not all bloated and stuff, and then once you come in, and we'll talk about the movie. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the movie.
So we're gonna talk about the movie. Look at you with you slide,
you go-
slide
you
devil.
go-
Let me talk about
money
King Kong
twice,
versus the
Say again?
Godzilla. Why don't you lay down?
I said you're spending money twice if you go before.
Where's the twice part? I don't understand that. Where is it twice?
If you go to the movies first,
Yes.
typically you gonna want to buy popcorn and
I'm
this
not.
and that.
I'm not. You, bro. You've been to the movies with me a lot. Do I ever get concessions, bro?
Said on a date.
But he's not going
Said on a date.
She better bring the big purse. She
I don't
better
want to-
bring the big purse. We're not doing that concession shit. Like, I'm gonna stop at the Chevron. Babe, go in there and get whatever you want. Go get you 5 Reese's king sizes, all that. Get it. Load your purse up, and we're gonna be straight.
I can do that with Julie. That's my wife. But if you're going on a first date, he cheap as hell. He wanted me to bring the big purse.
Red flag for both of us. Red flag for both of us. One for me and one for her. It ain't gonna work. That's
Look,
it.
you go-
Hey, that's it right there. Right there.
Hey, look, I went on a first date with this chick once, and we went to the theaters, and she brought her big purse, and we went in there, and I'm like, you want anything? No, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we sat down. She pulled out a cheesesteak from her purse.
Was it hot, bro? Was it steaming still?
It was like the aluminum foil. She brought out like a foot long, and she didn't want to share either. She's like, oh, I brought my own food. Wow. If she'd have brought me one, I'd have been impressed. But, she only brought one for herself. So I was like, oh, okay, well.
She could have split that with you.
No, she
A
wouldn't.
red flag.
I was like, oh, okay. So it was funny, though. But I couldn't believe, it wasn't like some candies. It was a cheesesteak from like Philly cheesesteak.
You made me spit. You made me spit in my mouth a little bit. I had to go clear that out because I'm just like I could picture her with. She got a whole like little hot plate in there and shit. Like got hot pockets and fresh hot snacks.
Had a canned Coke. She not only pulled out a cheesesteak, but then she pulled out one of those cowboy Coca-Colas. I was like, not only is it a Coca-Cola, but it's a tall boy Coca-Cola.
See, these are the experiences we can't have at home. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tim brought it up earlier. I love the convenience of pausing. That's my favorite thing about home, pausing. Like you can pause, leave, come back, finish it later. I like that addition to the streaming thing at home, but I'm like, you know what? If I'm at the movies, I don't care about pausing it because I'm into it. I'm into it, you know.
See, I hate pausing. Like if I'm watching a movie at home with somebody and they're like, I need you to pause it. I'm like, no, hold it. Because you're breaking my flow.
You breaking the flow. You breaking the flow. You breaking the flow. I heard that.
And the thing is,
now I'm all distracted, and I'm gonna check Facebook and Google who the hell was that guy in the third row because he looks familiar, you know. So,
go ahead, Till.
Streaming and everything else that's good for like a second time and onwards viewing, but the movie theaters where you gotta go if you want to watch something the first time.
I agree. That's why I'm hoping Eternals will be only in the movies, like they're saying. If not Eternals, excuse me. I said that earlier. I misspoke. Shang-Chi is supposed to be the first. It's supposed to be the first movie Marvel drops that's only in the theaters, and they're still planning for that release to be in September. So, I don't think that they're planning on stopping it. But I mean, with this Delta variant, now they got a Lambda variant. I don't know if y'all heard about that. The things are, we don't know what's going on with this whole pandemic thing. So I mean, we could just hope. We just hope for the best.
You heard about the Lambda variant?
Yeah, it turns you. It turns you into a nerd.
Yeah, only the nerd.
Yes, it turns you to a nerd. Yes, Lambda. Try Lambda. Oh man. But
did the Omega Nudes. So.
Did the Omega Nudes. I feel like we're all on the same level, pretty much what we're talking about. Some people want to see it. Quincy could care less. Hillary's either way. I'm 100% for it. I think Shane's for it. I think Tim's either way as well.
Not specifically that movie.
Yeah.
But in general, yeah, I'm for that.
I'm totally for it.
There's always going to be people that they prefer just to wait for it to come home. They're never going to go to the theaters unless it's something they really, really want to see. And then there's some people that they're going to go as much as possible because that's what they enjoy doing. You know, some people enjoy having coffee. Some people enjoy going to the theater and just hanging out. Like I go to the movies by myself all the time because, you know, I enjoy the matinee because I go in there because nobody else is actually in the theater, but I get the nice theater experience.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I just, like I say, I don't want them to go away. I'm going to do whatever I can do to support it. I'll go watch. I'm thinking about going to watch Suicide Squad in the movies because I did enjoy it. I thought it was really entertaining, especially the first one was so bad it didn't take much to beat this one. I mean, the first one was all absolutely horrible. So this one was a breath of fresh air. But
the first one they were so all over the place they couldn't stick with a storyline. This one had an actual storyline that you could follow.
It was the cuts, man. You just hit it on the head. It was the cuts. It was like quick cut, slow motion, quick cut, slow motion, and it was like a big music video. That first one, you know, and I just thought it was horrible, and even the Birds of Prey was horrible. So this.
Oh, do you know what I just remembered?
What's that?
About the movie theaters. Does anybody still remember those like exclusive movie theater trailers and all this stuff?
Oh yeah.
That you can only see there?
Oh yeah.
That's another thing you don't get at home.
Well, you know what? I don't want to get off topic too much, Tim, but you're right. It's like music videos. Me and my sister, we grew up, we watched music videos. You know, we used to watch like 106 in Park and, you know, music video shows like Total Request Live. Those don't exist anymore because if you want to watch a music video, you just go to Vivo on YouTube and you just look up any music video you want. But it's not the same. Like I said, it's not the same as one getting premiered for the first time. You're the first one to see it. I'm big into that. I'm big into being the first to see it. I like that feeling. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. But y'all, hyperholics, don't fret. The movie theaters aren't going anywhere. So please, hyperholics, if you're out there, show your support. Go watch a movie in the theaters. That old school experience, it cannot be duplicated. And hey, thank y'all for that topic. But I did have one more thing we're going to touch on before we close up shop today. So Shane, you brought up the pandemic. We're gonna get a little risque here, y'all. So I think we have some like-minded individuals here. I don't think anybody's feelings will get hurt. But hyperholics, if you're out there, I hope your feelings don't get hurt. Shane, we were talking about it before you got here. We're talking about the vaccine, the pandemic. When is it going to be over? When is it coming? Where you stand on that, man? How you feel about it? I don't want to put your business out in the street, but how you feel about the whole situation?
I got vaccinated back in February.
I remember you were on the front lines.
Yeah, I'm like, because I'll be honest, I wear a mask when people ask me to, but I don't like wearing a mask. You know, it's, you know, we weren't made to wear a mask the rest of our life. You know, so I mean, so that's why they came up with a vaccine. I'm like, pop it in there, let's go. I'm ready to get back to normal. You know, so you know, I don't. You know, and I think the thing that takes me off is a lot of people that are anti-vax are the same people I see complaining about, I'm not putting no vaccine in my body. Give me 2 Marlboro Reds and some and they're buying their 12 cases of Bud Light. Yeah, that vaccine ain't FDA approved. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the Marlboro Reds ain't FDA approved too, but yet you're smoking them.
And funny enough, the only one that isn't FDA approved at this point is the Johnson & Johnson. So
Yeah,
that's not even holding up.
You said, Tim, see, look, when we talk, y'all, about these things, if y'all don't know me, I'm going to tell you something about me you might not know. I do my best not to talk about shit I don't know, period. If I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'm going to shut my mouth and listen. So, Tim, you're saying the only one that isn't FDA approved is the Johnson & Johnson?
Well, as far as I'm like back when I was still working, like I said, I've been gone for 2 months, but
okay,
they did initially approve it until the whole it gives you blood clots thing. Then the FDA put out a warning for it, but emergency approved it anyway for people that want to get it anyways. But they just told us to say, hey, if you're under this age and you're a female, you could be at risk for getting it, but they still allowed it. So.
Okay. All right.
But that's like I said, just the Johnson & Johnson. So
just the Johnson, and that was the one shot, correct?
That was the one-shot one, which it's a different kind of vaccine that they had anyway. So
my question, I have a question for all y'all, and and this is not me being. Look, I want y'all to know, Hyper. If even if nobody on Hyper is watching, if you are watching, I want y'all to know I'm not being conspiracal. That's a word I made up, by the way. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I'm not doing that. I'm just asking questions because I don't know. You know what I mean? So my question is this: why are there 3 of them?
We have Big Pharma.
So that's actually true because there's 3 different companies that made them. However, the Pfizer and the Moderna, they're technically the same kind of vaccine. The only one that is different is the Johnson & Johnson one. That's a different kind of vaccine.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I know the Pfizer and the Moderna ones are both, they're called mRNA vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what they do is they put a tiny piece of genetic material of the vaccine of the virus into your body so that the mRNA receptors in your the mitochondria is basically in your cells.
Look at you. Okay.
Read that code.
All right.
Huh?
Keep going. I said, look at you with the big words. Keep going. No, hold on. No, continue, please. I didn't mean to cut you off.
They read it, they copy this, how they make their proteins. And they get that vaccine, they copy it, and it creates that little tiny particle, that little tiny piece of that virus in your body. Your cells see it, they attack it, and that forms the antibodies for it. That's how the mRNAs work.
And what's the other one? Do you know?
Like I said, I haven't looked too much into the Johnson & Johnson to know which kind of vaccine that one is.
Well, just thank you for being honest, because we live in a world these days where everybody want to talk shit about something and they have no idea what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And that's like my biggest pet peeve. Don't sit here and talk about something that you really don't know what you're talking about. Before you go, Shane, I want to say this as well. None of us have labs in our houses. I don't know. Maybe somebody here has a meth lab or something in their house I don't know about. But no. Oh, Hillary has a meth lab. So everyone, please watch out for explosions in that top right box. No, look, none of us have labs at our house. We have to take what they say for face value. You know what I mean? But you can't go home and test it. You know what I mean? And literally it tests what you think. So it's kind of a leap of faith. You know, I think it's a leap of faith, and that's okay. And Shane, I'm not anti-vax. I'm just anti no choice. I'm anti no choice. That's my. I'm anti that. I'm anti you telling people what they gotta do. You know, I don't like that.
I would never say you have to do it. You know, I'm just saying I prefer to do it. It's just like I'm anti you making me wear a mask. You know,
I heard that. Say fair enough.
You know, because in my personal opinion, a mask for regular people, I understand it in the hospitals and stuff because you're dealing with going from one person to another person. But in everyday life, I mean, if I can smell smoke through my mask, it's not stopping a virus.
So that shit didn't work. He said that's not work.
You know, and the thing is, what I'm seeing now is a lot of people mask shaming because if you're not wearing a specific kind of mask,
N95, I do know that.
Like,
that's the dumbest shit.
Why is that? Why is that dumb, Tim?
Mask shaming?
Yeah. Why is that? Please.
I mean, if people if they wear a mask, in my book, that's fine. If they cover up their entire, if they're making an effort to it,
mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about like putting your T-shirt over your nose, stuff like that. I'm talking about if you're wearing a mask, you shouldn't get shamed for wearing a mask.
For which kind of mask you're wearing?
Right.
That's the United States for you. Oh, you ain't got on no Jordans. You gotta have the Jordans if you're gonna wear shoes.
Well, it's like in the Dragon Con groups because they've decided for Dragon Con you wear masks that fit CDC recommendations. And I bought some neck gaiters, and a lot of people are like, "Oh no, neck gaiters don't count." I'm like, they do too. If you go to the CDC website, it said neck gaiters are fine, and if you go to the OSHA website, it says neck gaiters are fine. You know what? Because the main purpose is to stop the moisture and the spittle from coming out. And a lot of them are like, no, you need the N95 that sucks to your. I'm like, that's overkill. Unless you're in a hospital or something, you don't need an N95 just for walking around the street mingling in public, but they want to shame people because, if you want to wear this, but.
And on top of that, if everybody wears their mask like they're supposed to, if that person that is mask shaming is wearing the right mask, then what's the point of you mask shaming if the person that you're talking to is wearing a mask in the first place, and you're going to be fine either way?
Yeah, and the whole point of the mask
That's
is
a good point. That's a good point.
You from getting the virus is to keep other people from spitting the virus out. That's the whole point. It's not the mask doesn't protect you; it protects other people.
And I'm with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with anything. I mean, I don't get wrapped up in all the minutia. I mean, now I live by myself, so I don't have anybody around me. I'm Shane, you can understand. I'm solo for the most part. So 80% of the time I'm by myself. So I'm not going to get myself sick. Now, if I go around the kids, if Landmark says, hey, we're mandating the vaccine, you want to come back here and work, then that's when I'm going to come to the crossroads. So a buddy of mine works at Disney. Quincy, you got to use your phone?
No, you look at your phone when I just sent you.
Okay, I will in 1 second. Got you.
It has to do with this.
Oh, does it? Okay, awesome. But my buddy works at Disney, and they got an email out saying that if you were salary management, you had 60 days to comply to get vaccinated. So they forced them to. And he did not want to do it, but he went and got the first shot a couple of days ago. Because he's like, damn, man, I just got hired back at Disney. I don't want to lose my job again because So if they put the pressure on us like that, that's when I'm going to be like, you know what, I got to make a decision. But, I don't do too much. I don't really do a lot of stuff. I don't really see a lot of people. So I go outside, I run by myself. I try to eat right, and do the right things. And
my company's offering $300 for you to show your card at this point in time.
Well, they got the fake cards out, right?
I'm good.
I can make you a fake card.
Shane, I knew as soon as
give me $100, I'll make you a fake card.
As soon as this issue came up, I was like, bootleggers finna make a whole new racket. They finna make fake vaccination cards. Of course they're gonna do that. Like, of course.
Funny enough, there's been plenty of times.
I'll make a business card size, one that actually fits in your wallet. Boom.
I want one to put on my chest.
There was actually plenty of times where not plenty of times. It happened twice, 3 times where I got a call at Publix at our pharmacy about some company manager, some asking, how do our cards look like? because they're doing this thing where they're getting like some reward, like, like Quincy just said, $300 here, $200 there for getting vaccinated and for showing their card. And they were asking me, how do ours look like? Like, because, some places print the names on them, some places write them. So I've had people asking me, how do we do ours to make sure that they were legit?
Yeah, to make sure they can. Yeah, of course, because
none of them are official. So I mean, how can you check something to be official when there is no official one? So they're just.
It's just a template right now.
It's just a template.
Yeah, it's just a template. Hillary,
work coughing.
That's it. I don't want to. Hillary, you're a very, very intelligent young lady. What do you think about this whole thing? We don't got to get too deep into conspiracy theories or anything, but just the vaccine, the forcing people to take it, the reach herd immunity whole thing. What do you think about these things?
I think depending on the business that you have, it's within that business's right to say the employees have to have the vaccination because
100%.
Yeah. So there's certain businesses where it's like, you deal with a lot of kids or, whatever. And there was that case a few years back with the anti-vaxxers at Disney that one of the kids got he was immunocompromised or whatever. I don't know what sort of thing, but he ended up getting the measles or something from Disneyland. There was a Disneyland outbreak of the measles. And that kid died. So I think depending on who you come in contact with and who you're, potentially, can come in contact. It's fine. I don't have a problem with businesses saying, yeah, you have to have the vaccination to come back to work here.
Of course
otherwise,
not.
Make your choices, or otherwise you've made your choice. No vaccine, no job.
And you, please continue, please.
Yeah, and so, and I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, I don't mind wearing a mask. I haven't had a cold in 2 years. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good for me. I usually get a little cold when the seasons change, and I haven't gotten anything in two and a half years almost.
Which thank you, so.
Do you think that's and due to the mask a little bit?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Because I interact with well, not so much in the last year, but I do interact with a lot of people, and a lot of different people, my work and stuff. But yeah, it's and I made a couple of bucks making and selling masks because I can sew. So I did make some masks, and I did a lot of mask research. To make the best ones because I'm like it has to be lightweight, but it has to be
breathable,
working, and there was so much stuff to weed through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't mind it, and I'm probably getting ready to start making some more. I haven't made them for 6 months, but I'm probably getting ready to start making them for winter. Make myself a little couple of dollars, and I'm not playing around with the mask. I'm not just making it to make a mask and make you feel. I'm making a mask that's
actually works.
Yes.
You're not putting
all the research.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, why didn't you make some Super Geek Trivia Fights masks?
You gotta that's a good idea.
I wouldn't. I would not. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. It's something. It's something that
the
just
ones
won't
I made because I made one. I made Harry Potter masks. I made Millennium Falcon ones. I have Millennium Falcon fabric. I had a little bit of Marvel fabric left over, so I did make some geeky ones.
There was a market for it. I mean, you saw a whole new lane opened up with the mask thing. It's like people jumped on it. And one thing about America, if you can make money off of it, we're gonna try. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna figure out a way to make some money off of it. I mean, and I ain't mad at that. I like capitalism. I'm a fan of it.
And I didn't make it I only sold the extra ones because I was like, oh, I have some extra. I need to sell these. But I made them for my friends that requested them, and they just basically paid me for materials and shipping.
Hey, man.
I didn't even know they made these things. Julie just got these.
What are those?
Filters that actually go inside of your mask.
They go inside the mask?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Do you know at the beginning
Next
of the
level.
pandemic, you could not get any materials to make a mask hardly. It was
Yeah.
you couldn't get the elastic, you couldn't get like the things for the filters. So there was a whole lot of jerry rig masks going on.
A lot.
When the
Honestly,
pandemic
we had a
started, you
lot
couldn't
of
get any of
fabric.
anything.
You couldn't.
Huh?
You couldn't get anything.
No.
No.
I went to Joann's to try to get some elastic. There was no. They only had like fat elastic and stuff. So I was making mine out of old cut up T-shirts.
That's what we had at first.
Hey, my sister was making sanitizer when it first started with Everclear and aloe, but she couldn't find aloe. She couldn't find the aloe. Like when it first started, it's like she could not get it. And
I just happened
What we
to
had
have
to do at the store.
say again, Tim.
That's what we had to do at the store is make our own sanitizer.
Hey man, at desperate times call for desperate situations. I guess at
I
the
just drank whiskey and then I was sanitized from the inside out.
perfect. That's how you do it, bro. You kill all that shit, man. You kill all that shit, bro. You know, look at the end.
Irish whiskey, you ain't getting nothing.
I just want this thing to be over, but I don't want to feel like I have to be the one that it's on. Does that make sense? Like it's not on me, and that's how people were making. The world is making you.
mean?
Well, let me go ahead and just say it. I haven't been vaccinated. I didn't plan on it. I didn't plan on it, and I don't want people to look at me and make it seem like it's my fault. That's not fair. That's not fair. I didn't start this shit. Well, don't blame me for not wanting to do it. Like, oh, you're part of the problem. Like, no, dude, screw you, bro. You're part of the problem because you're sitting here blaming me for something I didn't even do. That does not make any sense to me. Please.
I get that.
I'm a big history buff, and I've watched I watch History Channel like 24/7. History, UFO conspiracies, Bigfoot, all
History,
that kind of stuff.
aka Adam and Eve. Yeah, sure, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at history, there was the Black Plague, there's the Spanish flu. Things like this happen every 100 years or so, and no matter what you do, they appear, they burn through, they kill off whoever's going to get sick and die. Somebody else gets them, and then life moves on. I have a feeling this is just another one of those things, and I mean, it sounds heartless, but that's just the way it is. It's going to, and as much as people keep hiding, it's something you're never going to hide from. Eventually, it's going to burn through everybody, and then we're going to move on. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing just a few days ago. Because it reminded me a lot of the Spanish flu that happened literally almost exactly a century ago. It was what, 1918 or something like that? Or
Yeah, and it burned through in 2 years, and then you haven't seen or heard of it really since. So.
Well, a buddy of mine told me about the vaccine, his theory on it. He said, well, I mean, the reason I got it is because I had my MMR shots when I was in school, and I'm like, yeah, but you only got that shit once. You know what I mean? Like this vaccine, you're going to have to get more because they don't have a booster out now for it.
they're talking about it.
Yeah, like
talking about it, but they're not actually, because of the variant. They're like, well, we might have to give you a booster because there's always going to be a variant. If you keep screwing with it, things are going to keep mutating.
Thank you, Shane.
Just let it burn through. Sorry, it sounds cruel. Burn through, let it be done.
Bro.
And I can go back to going to the nookie bars.
Bro, it's like the flu shot, bro. You got to get that every year. You don't just get it once and then you're done.
I've never gotten the flu shot.
Me either, bro.
Yeah, my first one.
And Hill, I remember you telling us about that. And look, if somebody asks me why I don't want to get the vaccine, my reason is this simply. I don't take Tylenol. I don't take Advil. I don't drink cough syrup. Why the hell would I want to do that? Like, I don't take any of that stuff, so I don't want to take it. And that's period.
And the whole thing, why are you going to force people to take a vaccine, which is sort of experimental, but you still got marijuana illegal when that's natural? Come on now.
Bro, I'm telling you right. Well, in Florida, Shane, I went to Florida about 2-3 weeks ago. It's legal for medical use down there now. So Tim. So my friends go to shops. My family go to shops.
I need to add some more to that.
Oh, please. I'm about to be finished right now. I'm just going to say that you can go in there and get edibles and pre-roll joints dipped in like keef and hash, like all that good stuff for free. I mean, not for free, but legally, and that's a beautiful thing. Go ahead, Tim.
So if you remember what we were talking about earlier about the whole healthcare thing and how it's difficult to implement because each state it has its own thing and they're all different.
Yes.
See, that's the problem, that federal law keeps getting overwritten by these state laws.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we had one thing that's, centralized and it's
Yes.
would set the bar, we would get a lot more things done.
I can concur with that, bro. Marijuana should be centralized. That's one that should be. But
that's one of the things. That's one of the things. Or there's so many other things. Like I for example, hoping it start back on about my motorcycle, right?
Yeah, of course.
It is, to me, it is so self-explanatory that not lane splitting, lane filtering should be legal everywhere. But it's not. It's legal in California, Utah, I think Florida, but it's not legal here.
What is lane filtering?
I'm get a ticket for it.
Riding on the dotted
right
line.
down the middle and hit your side view mirrors.
Oh,
so that's lane splitting. I'm talking about lane filtering. So lane filtering is when there's stopped cars and you're going through slowly. I'm not talking about that 60-mile-an-hour bullshit where that's suicide.
No, you're talking about like traffic, like being stopped in traffic and cutting through the cars between the mirrors.
Right.
They do it all the time.
They do it all the time.
They do it, but a friend of mine's got a ticket for it.
It's illegal, is what you're saying. No matter if they do it or not.
It's illegal.
I mean, because we still sell crack, but this shit is not legal. That's a good point. That's a good point. You know what though? To piggyback off the motorcycle thing, it's not even just a state thing, Tim. It's a county thing. Like if I get caught in Fulton County with a dime of some trees, they're just gonna give me a ticket and take the weed and tell me to go home. If I get caught with that same dime in Tyrone, I'm gonna spend the night in jail. I'm gonna do probation and I'm gonna have community service.
Right, not even county, full on city. Like
full on city.
That just reminded me. Because Fayetteville is in Fayette County, but Peachtree City, it's got liquor stores, all this junk. Fayetteville's technically a dry city.
It's a dry city, except for the bars. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a dry city.
It's not even county-wide. It's city.
Because Peachtree City is its own thing. Peachtree City literally is a bubble. And they're trying to make, I was reading an article the other day about they're trying to make Buckhead like that. Because apparently the people in Buckhead are not liking the way things have been going the past 5-6 years. So they're trying to separate from Atlanta. They're trying to separate Buckhead and make that like a whole nother thing. I'm like,
yeah, they want their own police force. They don't like what
that's it, Shane. They want their own police force. They don't want Atlanta police anymore. They want their own Buckhead police.
Why city of Atlanta doesn't want them splitting off is because they lose money in taxes.
Damn right.
No.
Damn right. That's a lot of income in Buckhead. Hey man. I gotta say it, man. We got a good group of people here, man. We got a good group of people here. Hey, doggy. Hey,
we're missing Ray. He would have had a lot to say today.
Oh man, this thing with Ray. If you watch it, man, and you gonna be here next time, bro. You would have turned this guy all the way up, man. And especially being in the military, I know he got different viewpoints. You know, because he was in the military for a long.
That's right.
He was in the military for a long time. But y'all, this was a hyper talk. Suicide Squad. I think we liked it, and the vaccine, man. Do what you got to do, man. Go get it. Don't. Whatever you do, let's just get the movies back. So all y'all go get it, so I don't have to. Thank you.
Well, I don't have it either, so
I understand, and you know when we've talked about it, and I shouldn't have to feel bad about saying that, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you feel no, but that's what the
people that make you feel shame about it.
That's what the world is doing on TV.
I just wear 3 masks. Hell,
bro, you see the commercials.
That's what I do. I wear my mask that fits well, that doesn't feel like paper, and then I put 2 of the hospital masks over that shit.
And I don't wear any mask, and I walk into the store and I beatbox.
I'm gonna ask you not to do that, Tim.
Please, all right, Bismarcky.
Don't get near me, y'all won't breathe on you.
Oh man!
And I was like that before. Don't get near me, because I'll fart your direction.
I don't remember you having 2 dogs that look the same.
Yeah, I've got 3. I got
you had 3, but I thought, oh, he's Brindle on the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, he's Brindle.
Okay.
All right, really fast before we start getting into the dog types, I want to say thank y'all for being on this Hyper Talk. Everyone on Hyper, thank you for watching. This is gonna go on the new YouTube channel I just started called Hyper Entertainment. I'm gonna put this on YouTube, and thank you, Quincy. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Shane, Doggies, Tim, Hillary. Thank y'all so much for your insight. And don't go anywhere. I'm just going to stop the stream, and I'll be right back. And to everyone on Hyper, Everyone on Hyper, thank you for watching Hyper Talk. That's not it. That's the On Stage show. That's not even a real thing anymore. So thank you all for watching Hyper Talk Facebook. Have a blessed evening, and we'll see you trivia time Thursday night. Have a blessed one. Boom. Okay, and we're done.